I don't know if you can see it because it's got some kind of a message in here. All right, won't go away. All right. Anyway, hi. This is me. Oh, good. There we go. It went away. Thank God. Anyway, this is me, ToryMagoo44, and hi. I did it. I know. Ah! It's really weird to be in my position where I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to work this out. Jessica came over and taught me how to do live stream a bit. I'm going to turn this off because it's too bright. Hi, you guys. Anyway, I'm just trying to do a little bit. I already did this last night, and I'm going to do it again today because last night was late night. So if you already saw last night, you might want to just thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Carrie Ann. Anyway, thank you. Um, if you saw last night, don't worry about it because this is kind of a repeat for people in the day that missed it last night. But also, if you have questions, I want you to ask them on this. I'm going to try and see if I can do it. I'm just trying. You have to understand I'm learning live stream, and I didn't realize if I hit post, like end the thing, then I can't. Thank you. Thank you, Becca. Anyway, I if I hit post, then I can't answer your questions. I was thinking, okay, I'll answer all your questions afterwards, but I realized you have to ask them now, and I have to answer them now, and then we'll end off. So, but first, I'm going to tell you if you didn't see last night, what I was talking about is what happened to me during the protests. Okay, you're in St. George, Utah. Okay, excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for all your hearts also. I'm sorry if I don't say everybody's names, but it's difficult to talk and answer questions. But please put in capital letters if you have a question. I know I'm happy to see I'm around too. I really am. Believe it or not, I have two older brothers, and all three of us are doing great. I have one older brother who's a writer and a runner, and he's on Amazon as PJ Christman. And then I have my younger older brother, David Christman, who's a okay, you're in Portland. We shut down the Portland, Oregon Saturday night. All right. This is amazing. This is what I wanted to talk about. It is truly amazing what you guys are doing. Everyone, we on Saturday, I have protested. Wow, thank you for all those hearts. I've protested since 2000. In 2000, I'd been in Scientology for 30 years, for anybody who doesn't know. And then I woke up and I escaped out. My friend Andreas Helderland, who's now the late Andreas Helderland, I'm sorry to say, but he was never in Scientology, but he created a site, xenu.net. And there's tons of fabulous information on that. And he helped me wake up. I mean, I spent 10 years reading self-improvement books and all kinds of stuff. I called it my secret library. And it wasn't anything against Scientology. It was just stuff helping me, I think, strip off mind control. So by the time I met Andreas, and he said, what kind of friends could those be if you're going to leave, if they're going to leave you because you change your mind? Because I said, if I leave, I'm going to lose all my friends and my husband. So anyway, was I OT8? No, my husband was OT8. I was on OT7 for 7 grueling, awful years. It doesn't work. It didn't work. And I don't think it ever works. But that's my own opinion on it. This is all based on my opinions and my experience. So anyway, back to the protest and you guys and and what happens. But thank you for putting the question in big letters because then I did see it. And yes, my husband was or is OT8 and he's still in. My ex-husband. He's remarried and everything else. Hi, Curious Wendy. Wendy. So because of these cameras, we've protested for years. And I use the analogy of Field of Dreams. If any of you have seen that, where you just put, remember how the guy put his hand into the corn, kind of like seeing what it was like. Thank you. Thank you for your kind comments. So I did the same thing with Scientology. They would say, you cannot, no, wait. I wasn't born into Scientology. No, I got into Scientology. I was in college, and someone gave me a Dianetics book, and that's how I got in. I read Dianetics. I was in college. I was basically planning on becoming a doctor. My grandfather was a doctor, and I went around with him, and I thought it was fun. That's how I became a night owl, because I said, if you have any night things, wake me up. So he'd wake me up, and I'd go with him. And so I wanted to be a doctor. Let me finish answering this one question. I can't, don't ask like tens of questions because I can only answer one at a time. But anyway, I wanted to be a doctor. I got in college. I thought, you know what, there's no way I'm going to go through 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, internships. I just thought, no way. And this guy had given me a Dianetics book from high school. He was a kid from high school who knew me. And I only read like 3 chapters, but I thought, hey, I could clear people, and that would be probably as good as being a doctor. No, not true, but I thought so. So anyway, that's what happened. And I basically had an argument with my dad. He said, go to bed. I said, Dad, I'm in college. It's 10:30 at night. I'm not going to bed. And he said, look, it's our morals or no school. And I loved my dad, but I was really mad at him on this. And so I wrote on the mirror, your morals are no school, screw you. And I packed my bags and I hitchhiked in 1969 from Chicago by myself to Los Angeles. Because on the back of the book it said St. Hill, England, and I knew I didn't have the money to get there, or American St. Hill in LA. So I hitchhiked to St. Hill, England, American St. Hill in LA. And that's how I got in. And honestly, when I got here, they said, ask for John Hildebrand, who's on this big course. I said, okay. So, yes, you're catching me live. So I walk in. First of all, they had all these huge pictures of L. Ron Hubbard around Asho at the time. And I just thought, okay, no way. This is too weird. And they were all Sea Org members in those uniforms. They all wore Navy uniforms back then. And I'd been a hippie in San Francisco. I was like anti-military. I'd been protesting the Vietnam War for years. I thought I thought Hubbard kind of looked like Hitler because he had all those big signs up, photographs of himself around the org, and they were super organized, and I wasn't into organization. So it was just sort of like not my thing, right? But they had said, look, if you need anything, ask for John Hildebrand. So I walk in and I say, I want to talk to John Hildebrand. He's on the big course. And this lady says, you can't. He's on course. You can come back at 10:30 at night or 10 at night and you can see him then. And I think, okay, screw this. These guys aren't going to really, it's not going to happen. So I hitchhiked back out to the valley. They'd said, you can stay at this guy's house. I'm at this guy's house. I get stoned because we're smoking grass. And I get stoned and we're laughing and we're like, yeah, right. The guy's going to call you at 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, at 10:05, the guy called. And he goes, thank you. I'm happy I'm on YouTube too. And so the guy calls and he says, look, I'm going to come out and get you. And I think, okay. So we get stoned some more. And I think, right. We're both laughing. We're like, yeah, the guy's going to drive all the way out to the valley to get you. And we're both like, it's just, you found my live feed. Woohoo! I know people are like, hey, I got it. That's why I did it in the day. Because I thought a bunch of people missed it at night. But I'm still going to do nighttime things. So anyway, to finish this, he comes out. We drive back to Asho. He parks the car next to Asho. He goes in to get some beer. And I think, well, remember, I'm 22. And I'm thinking, he's not all bad. He drinks beer. So, because I was a hippie. I'd been into doing all kinds of stuff. So I thought, well, he's not all bad because they look so straight and robotic in Scientology. I just thought, no way, I don't want to do that. But this guy looked kind of cool and was really fun. And he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to become an auditor. That's it. And he said, okay, well, first of all, we don't do any drugs. He made that really clear. And he goes, he goes, well, what are your considerations? And I said, well, why do they have those big photographs? And why are they in those uniforms? And I don't really like organizations. And, he handled every single upset that I had. And he said, you know what? Let's just go talk to some of the auditors. So back in the day, it isn't true now, but back in 1969, things were much different. It was like tons of people. There were 200 people on course, on the briefing course, which Miscavige has now canceled now. Way to go, Dave. Just like, what an idiot. So I'm sorry I'm moving this around, but I have to. And remember, here's my fans. Okay, I will tell you my best John Travolta story, but not at this time. I won't. I have to tell you another time because I got to finish some of this stuff. So the guy says, let's go talk to the auditors. I talked to the auditors, and I remember the second I thought, I don't care what these people do. It was really shutting down my critical thinking because I thought, I don't care what they do. I want to be one of these people, one of the auditors. I just love these auditors. And I thought, it doesn't matter what they do. They're good people. They're helping people. That's what I want to do. That's all I wanted to do. That's why I got in Scientology. And I swear to God, I have helped more people having left Scientology than I ever did while I was in. It's just a miracle. It's kind of amazing when you realize my purpose and how it just was nothing while I was in. Thank you for all of 100%. But it's been really cool. I mean, someone wrote me today and said, I'm kind of a shut-in and I haven't gone out in a long time, but I saw you out protesting, and so now I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to go for a walk. And I was like, yes. It's like I love that kind of thing. I love you guys. But I wanted to let you know it really, really makes a difference as far as these cameras. Like we were at LA Org, and I'd picketed there forever. And if I just put my foot on their trespassing, first of all, they had guys on bikes all the time back then. Now, because of the Squirrel Squad, they've shut down all the buildings. Every building here in LA is from top to bottom. The windows are shut for every single one, right? That's it. So now we go over there to protest, and these are people we've all protested for years, and there's no bikes, nothing. Everything's shut down. And I'm older. I'm 76 years old, so I've got my little walking stick, and I'm there. But I get tired after like an hour, and I think I got to go sit down, or maybe a half an hour. But anyway, I needed to sit down, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go sit on. Thank you. I'm going to go sit on LA Orgs. It's like a little cement thing. You probably, if you watch the videos, you can see it. But anyway, now wait a minute. You said turning the cameras on them. Right. Exactly. That's what happened. So I walk down and sit down. And at the end of on the public sidewalk is 10 cameras. And most of them have like 5, 10, 15, 20,000 people watching, right? And I sit down and nothing happens. Now, in the old days, when we protested, they'd be there in a minute. Get up off of our thing. You can't sit there. Not now. Nobody came out, right? So finally, a guard comes out and he goes, get off our property. You're trespassing. And I said, look, I'm sitting here for 2 minutes. That's all. I'm a senior. I need to rest for a minute. I'm just sitting here. And I know they're filming. All these guys are filming this, right? And he goes, get off our property. And he keeps saying, you're trespassing. Get off our property. And I'm saying, look, I'm sitting here for 2 minutes. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I thought, I can't believe I used to work for the Office of Special Affairs just as a volunteer. But they told me, they said, our biggest goal is to be thought of as a real religion. That's what they want. And think about it. Think about other people from other religions watching that happening yesterday, and the guy saying, "Get off our driveway," or Saturday. It happened on Saturday. Get off our driveway. You're trespassing. I mean, what religion would do that? None. It was just really, really freaky. So anyway, the whole day I sat on their bench. Nobody came. Before in a minute, somebody'd be there. But I know what happened. That guard went inside. They're watching the feed. And they saw how many of you are on it. And they went, okay, leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Don't bug her. Leave her alone. And now they have a thing where I'm a top secret undercover CIA agent. They told this brand new person that, and I said, look, these people really hate me, so they're going to tell you some lies. Excuse me. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said in my religion, we would be running out offering. Exactly. Thank you. That is religion. Religion would offer a chair, or do you want a glass of water or something? I mean, that just really hit me. It just was like so awful to have these people that think I believed in these people for 30 years. And then to see, just how creepy they are. It's really awful, and you guys are so important. It makes so much difference. Even if you're, in Podunk, Iowa, or somewhere where there's nothing and you think, well, there's nothing I can do. No, wrong. Because every single person that's on here today, it means a big deal to all of us. Mary DeMoss, oh my God, I have no idea. But I'm telling you, I wrote a knowledge report on Mary DeMoss right when I left Scientology. I escaped out. They chased me across the country. I wasn't going to pick it. I wasn't going to speak out. I wasn't going to protest. And then they just kept picking on me. And I thought, all right, I'll go protest. And she came out and she started talking about some stuff that really ticked me off. And I said, you say another word about that, I'm writing up a KR to RTC on you. And she said another word about it. I wrote up a KR, and that was the end of Mary DeMoss. I hadn't seen her since. So I don't really care about her. But, she's someone that's on my shit list, that's for sure. Unless she calls me and says I'm sorry, but I don't like people that do creepy things, and I'm not even going to tell you what she did. But anyway, thank you very much. Now I'm going to scroll up and see if I can answer some of this stuff, because this is what I think I'm supposed to do with live streaming. God, there's tons of how do these people do this? I don't get it. I mean, there's just too many things. All right, here we are. I did it. All right, so there's Michael. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Hey, Carrie Ann. Hey, Tori from Portland. All right, cool. All right, you're doing a great job. Thank you. Woof. Thank you. Go, Tori. All right, cool. You guys are so supportive. It really means a big deal to me. I'm in St. George, Utah. Wow, that's intense. Rock on, Tori. All right. So I rocked the security. That's right. I did. And it really felt good. Thank you. Thank you for all the, I love all those hearts too. I made my first live. This isn't my first live. I've made, the first live was with Jessica. She taught me how to do live streaming, and she was really clever. She set up a tripod that was filming us. And then she had her phone to ask me questions. It was really clever. I thought, no, wait a minute, all the things went away. Oh no. Okay, here we are. Oh, I don't know what happened. All the stuff went away. Okay, it's back. Let's see, you're new here. I'm such a delight. Well, thank you. Make sure to subscribe. That's right. I forget to tell people, make sure to like this video and subscribe. And that means a lot. A lot of people think, it doesn't make any difference. It really does in my world, because Scientology hates my statistics going up. And the last time when Jessica and I made that video, I was at 19,000 subscribers. And now I'm over 20,000 subscribers. And so it's sort of like the more subscribers, and this is true for, I mean, I really think, you should look at all the different, live things and support them, ones that you like. Ah, darn it. Now I lost all the questions again. Sorry. Well, at least I got some of them in anyway. I'm kind of proud of that. All right, there's all the hearts. Your joy is why we're here. Okay, good. Thank you for that. I believe in joy. I believe in having a good time, and thank you. Excuse me. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like get out and do stuff. That's the thing. Because if you stay in, I don't know. To me, it's just a route to death. So I'm always out doing stuff. That's just the way I am. It makes a difference in many ways. I believe it. And you guys make a difference. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Okay, here's a question. When a member passes, is Scientologist the exeter, the executor? Wait a minute, something popped up and now I lost your question. Damn it. Okay, now I don't know what happened. I lost your question. All the questions went away. Okay, what can you ask it again? Some if you're an executor. Well, I will tell you this. I don't know your question. I can't see it, and now nothing's. Oh wait, there we go. Wait. When a member passes, is a Scientologist the executor of their will or the primary inheritor of their estates? I have no idea. I think it's an individual thing. If you've taken the time to set up a will, yes, you'd be. You see, there's Sea Org, and then there's public. Like I was public because I have epilepsy. They kicked me out. Said I had to get off my medicine. I nearly died doing that. Spent 30 years trying to get off my medicine. But anyway, luckily my mom in the 70s jumped in and said, "No, they're going to kill you." And her father's a doctor, my grandfather, and I know they were talking. And she said, "Look, either you're on your medication today, and your doctor calls me today and says you're on your medication, or I, your mother, am flying from Chicago out to LA tonight. And believe me, L. Ron Hubbard and the Church of Scientology will never forget your mother." And my dad was a celebrity. He was on NBC. He's a broadcaster or he was a broadcaster for with Kurt Gowdy and stuff for football, and he's in the Football Hall of Fame and stuff like that. So I knew my mom. They had media lines all over the world. Not all over the world, but all over the United States. Big media lines. And she would have gotten on TV. And I thought, okay, and I don't want, I want to, who wants to have seizures anyway? Not me. So anyway, that's what happened. I forget, did I answer your question? You said the executor when they die. They're very weird about death. They think, A, you just come back. So drop your body. That's okay. You'll be back in a minute. So that's number one. Number two, I have no idea on the wills how that works. Just it's an individual thing. For the public people, it's different. Magoo. Yeah, that was my nickname. And just so you know, that was my nickname for my dad. My dad died when I was 22. I woke up, and what am I going to do? Nobody would talk to me. So I plugged into my dad, whose nickname was Magoo, and his football number is 44 for the Football Hall of Fame, and so he's in the American Football Hall of Fame. So I thought, I'm going to keep this guy because he said, "Get out of LA." And I just plugged into his spirit. What would my dad say? And I got, "Get out of LA. Just get out now." And I thought, man, I'm keeping this guy close to me because he's very courageous and he's very kind and loving. And he was right. Get out of LA because I'm 15 minutes from Osa. So anyway, he did, and also don't try to come do some of your fair game shit with me, because it'll be, believe me, I will get it on every single one of these live streams everywhere. So leave me alone. All right, did I reach OT3? Yes. And if so, what was your reaction to the Xenu story? My first reaction to the Xenu story was, are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't believe it. This is it? It was just very weird. But then I remembered, you know what? Doctors to this day don't know what causes seizures. They know it's something with the brain, but they don't know what. And I thought, what if it's these BTs and clusters? So, and I think for each person, they have their own individual thing. And for me, that worked. I mean, I had a lot of wins on OT3, I thought. And then I finished and thought, well, why take this stupid medicine? Now I've gotten rid of this cause of it, which is all these spirits that are on top of me, supposedly, from what Hubbard said. And I thought I got rid of them. So I started to get off my medicine, went into status epilepticus, which is multiple grand mal seizures. And I somehow, thank God, subconsciously, I knew if I called Scientology, they would do what they did with Lisa McPherson, even though it hadn't happened with her yet. But I knew they would drive me out to a Scientology doctor, and I could tell I was close to death. And so I called this guy that was on the fence. I knew his name's Jerry Hall, and if you ever hear this, Jerry, I mean, you really did save my life. You did, and I've never been able to thank him enough. But I called him and I just said, "Jerry, get over here." And I was in status epilepticus, which is multiple grand mal seizures, and he drove me right away to Morton Plant Hospital, which is right next to Flag. And the doctors there said 5 more minutes and you would have been dead. So it's a good thing I called Jerry Hall. And Jerry Hall, if you ever hear this, I hope you send me a message because you truly saved my life. My mom did, and you did. And there's some people that have really helped save my life during my life. And all of you people now that are on the live stream, it's a big deal for me because it just is. Just thank you. And it's a big deal that for the people that come and film them because you can see now it's not just that they're shutting down their windows, they can't come out and do the shit that they used to do. They used to do really nasty stuff to the protesters. Not anymore. Not with 10 cameras on them, with 2,000 people or 2 million people watching, or 10 million or a half a million. Not going to happen because they know now we've said it for years, but yeah, thank you, Jerry Hall. Amen. So I know I'm back on the medicine. I haven't had a seizure in 30 years. So I don't even know if I have epilepsy, but all my doctors agreed because of that one thing where I nearly died. They just said, we're just going to keep you on your medication, and I'm fine on it. Okay, so was it was it the protests that brought you back to YouTube? I'm so glad you're here. Your experience and knowledge. Ooh, it went away. These things go away. I don't quite get this. I really need somebody to come help me. So if there's anybody in the LA area, call me. Um, yeah, it kind of was. It was the live stream thing. My friend Andrew, who used to work at the Egyptian, which is next to Scientology's testing center, and he was never in Scientology, but he's become kind of a critic over the years. And he called me up and he said, "You've got to see this lady on TikTok. Her name's Jessica Palmadessa." And I said, "No, no, I'm not going to do TikTok. I don't go on it." Because I just thought it was all these people dancing and I didn't give a shit. And he told me there's really cool stuff on it, but I could never find it. So I just haven't done it. So I said, "Nah, I'm not going to go on TikTok." And he said, "Tori, go on TikTok and look up Jessica Palmadessa." So I did. And there she is outside the testing center. It was so fun for me. They've got the camera right in front of her face. It's like, we're filming you, and which they always do with all of us. But she's like, "Do you think this is bothering me that you're filming me? I love it that you're filming me. I have 2 million followers." And we're all curious about this security guard. She walks right into the testing center and goes, "We're worried about the security guard." It was very funny. She's just a funny person. And she and I both agree humor is a good thing. You got to have, oh, that's right. I told someone, I forget who it was, they wanted to see Mr. Anonymous. So here he is. No, wait, no, that's not Mr. Anonymous. Sorry, that's my other bear. I have my fans because I lost all my friends when I was in 2000. So I got all these little bears. I thought, all right, if I can't have friends, I'll have my bears. But anyway, now I have friends all around the world, so it's great. But this is Mr. Anonymous. He's from Norway. And I went to Norway to meet Andreas because Andreas helped me wake up and get out of Scientology. And so when I was there, I bought Mr. Anonymous. And then I named him Mr. Anonymous. I can't remember why. But anyway, oh yeah, because of Anonymous. Because Anonymous gave me my original webcam to start my YouTube site. So this YouTube site was from Anonymous. And so I call him Mr. Anonymous. And he's pretty famous. I mean, he really is. He's been on my videos for years. Aren't you? You're so cute. And you're back on YouTube. He's excited. He's really cute. Anyway, I'm going to have to set you down, Mr. Anonymous. I could keep him on my shoulder, but I don't know. That's a little awkward. Anyway, thank you guys for putting up with all my crazy stuff. All right, here's another question. Woo, you love Mr. Anonymous. I'm glad, me too. For the chat, anyone know why we can't do a supper chat? What is it? A supper chat? A super chat. Oh yeah, I want to do super chats. I don't know how that works though. So if there's anybody in LA who knows how to help me set up a super chat, I would really appreciate it. I'm the same, still not on TT. I'll have to try. I don't know what TT is. You're still not on TT. I used to have a boyfriend named TT. Okay. Confident Chris saying her name, LOL, Jessica Palmadessa. I know those two are really a riot. I know I need to get some mods, but it's like people forever have said you need to write a book, and I go, I'm not a writer, and they go, well then get a, whatever you call them, somebody else to write it. Easier said than done. It's like, yeah, thank you, Kim. I mean, it's easy to say I need a moderator, but where am I going to get them? And I can't pay them. So it's like somebody that'd be like, okay, I'm happy to help you, and that's how that'd be. But in the meantime, I'm just going to slug along for a little bit, and then we'll see. It'll either work out or it won't. But I do think it would be cool to set up the super chat things. Look at this. This is so weird. Now where is the camera that my hand? I'm moving my hand in front of this. Oh, here's the camera. I just see it. Okay, so I can go like this. If I go under it, then it doesn't see, you don't see my hand. Very tricky, this stuff. It is. The mods they volunteer. Okay, so then I've got to find someone that everybody trusts and knows, because the Office of Special Affairs would be like, well, we'll be happy to moderate. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you, each of you, for letting me know it's a volunteer thing. So that's good. So then I've just got to find somebody that you guys know, that my friends know around here. Let's see, there are a group of mods. Ooh, wait, I lost you. Who can help? Okay, all right. Hi. Hi, the ethical tailor. Ooh, that sounds interesting. An ethical tailor? That's kind of funny. I never heard of an unethical tailor, so it's just kind of funny. It's a cute nick. All right. Yeah, please ask some people that you know. Acupunk. I like that. But it's kind of got to be somebody that either Jessica or Streets LA or a couple of my friends here. There's a bunch of old school guys that, it's got to be somebody we know. Goosebump, thank you. Okay, what did Goosebump do? I don't know. I'm trying to look up here. Get Jessica to come help you. Easier said than done. She and I are trying to do a part two of just live video, and I finally just went, you know what? I'm just going to slug it out. And if you guys like it, you like it. And if you don't, just let me know. You can tell me, you know what? Forget it. Because I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff like Aaron does, and, put up, here's a picture of Hemet, or here's a picture of the video. All these other people know how to do all that, but I don't. And so mine is just sort of, I feel like sort of a dork, but anyway, that's the way it is. You know, I figure, I'm not alone. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do all that stuff. So, and I do have a lot of, like somebody said, you have a lot of experience, and I do. I mean, I was in it for 30 years. I'm OT7. I told this to the guy that was telling me I had to get off the property, because he'd said it a few times. And I said, do you understand I'm OT7, which is the top is OT8. So I'm like way up there, right? And I said, I'm a grad 5 auditor. I'm a flag intern senior sec checker, which to most of you means nothing. And I only did it so that I could co-audit. See, there's auditing where you pay for it, right? And then there's co-auditing where it's you audit me and then I audit you. And that we just trade off, right? And I wanted to do this certain process, and you had to be a sec checker to be able to do that. So I went to Flag and got trained in it. But anyway, this guy was blown. You could see his eyes open up. And I'm sure Osa's listening to this and going, all right, we're going to go and tell him that doesn't mean shit. And she's screwed up and everything else. And the sad truth is those people can't look at the internet. So TikTok means TT. I have said that I should have started TikTok, damn it. Now it kind of ticks me off because I've said that for years. I've said TikTok, time is on our side. Well, that's because these were my friends. That's it, right? And they're not really speaking out. They're just my little buddies. Andreas, Spanky's been my friend for a long time. Jesse Prince has been my friend for a long time. I've had some really good friends, but but it was just one of those things where online people would not talk. And it was me, Larry Wallersheim, Jerry Armstrong. Jerry Armstrong was the first person to speak out, just so you guys know. and he was with L. Ron Hubbard, and L. Ron Hubbard wanted him to write. Anyway, it's all in A Piece of Blue Sky. There's a whole, if you want to hear the whole history of it, but just in a nutshell, he wanted him to write his biography. He started, and then Hubbard said, "I got a bunch of stuff downstairs on the ship, in the whatever, the hull. And if you go down there, you can get it and add that to the thing." Jerry goes down there, and there's all this shit that's, whatever Hubbard said, it was the exact opposite. Like he was a great man in the army. No, he wasn't. Anyway, it was just, all of it was just a bunch of lies. And Jerry even tried to get him to correct it. He said, "Look, this is going to look really bad biography." And Hubbard wouldn't change it, so Jerry just took the stuff and left. And they've been after him ever since. That. But he was the first person to speak out. But there's a bunch of people that have. All right, it looks super chat. Looks like you. Wait. You qualify for it, Tori. Maybe Chris or Jessica could set it up for you. All right, poof 911. Thank you for that. That helps me. That's good to know. And good, you have a piece of blue sky, but haven't started it. Well, read it because it'll give you really good information on it. All right, I've been a legend for a long time, I know, because I left in 2000, and like I said, people were like, "Don't mention my name." Many people, and I understood it because people were afraid of Scientology until Anonymous hit. And Anonymous really cracked that because it was 9,000 people around the world in most of the major cities in the world, in every country, protesting. These young guys, young girls. It was just amazing. To me, it felt like being raped in an alley, or people trying to rape me, which was the Church of Scientology, and doing all this shit against me, and then all of a sudden having 500 guys with these picket signs going, "We're on your side. We're behind you. We've got your back." And it was like, oh my God, thank God for Anonymous. And it wasn't all of Anonymous, as some guy came over to my house and said. He said, "Look, it's just a section. Anonymous is like a pie." And a section of it took on the Church of Scientology. So that's a whole different video I'll make on that. But in the meantime, thank you guys for coming on for this. Now let's see. John Atack. Okay, good. So yeah, John Atack. That's right. A Piece of Blue Sky. So you guys can definitely read that. And the other one, Steve Hassan. He has really great stuff on cults. What is a cult? And he's a good guy to check his stuff out. I like Mark Headley's book. I swear to God, I'm a slow reader, and I got Mark Headley's book. I read it, and I stayed up all night. I read it in one night. It's so funny, but also I lived through what he's writing about. But it's really classic. Now, did I ever work with Miscavige? I didn't work with him. No, I was public. Remember, they kicked me out of the Sea Org, so he only works with Sea Org. But he did come to OT7, where we were in the Sandcastle in Clearwater, and he was a total ass. He really was. I mean, he just was one of the meanest people I've ever seen. He tore everything off all the walls that we had up. Oh, we had all kinds of creative things and a big map of where all the OT7s were. Fuck this. He tore all of it off. He said, "You guys think you're at camp. Well, your camp is over." And that's another video I'm going to make about this because that's a whole different thing. But anyway, yeah, I've met him, and my really dear friend Tony Clock was working there as a Sea Org member, and kind of like working in the restaurant. And he just said to him, "Would you like me to get you a different fork?" Because he was upset about his fork. And he threw him on the RPF, which is their slave camp, for that question. He said, "I don't like that guy's tone level. Put him on the RPF." And that is so gross. I mean, it's just, ugh. So that's all I know about him. But he's a scumbag, and he's ruined Scientology totally. I mean, not that it was ever great, but it was a lot better than it is now. And let's see, way back when Greg and Deborah Barnes interview, right, with you, was one of the first videos. That's right, that you ever saw. It's the first video I think I ever made. And what happened there is Greg and Deb Barnes were in their house in Clearwater. I was there visiting them. They had just left Scientology also. And Mark Bunker was there, and a guy named Peter Alexander. And we were all sharing stories about these top OT levels. And what happened to you and what happened to each one of us was different than the other person. And I said to Bunker, you got to turn on the camera. I mean, nobody knows this shit. And so he turned on the camera and filmed it. And I think it's called OT's Speaking Freely. I think that's what it's called. I think you can still Google it and see it. But it's us, like I was like a week out of Scientology. And it's been up for a long, long time. It's a really good video. It's really interesting to see because it's way, especially for Scientologists, because you think Scientology is one way. Mm-mm. Where's Jesse Prince these days? He called me last night. He's in Long Beach, and he's going to come to one of our protests pretty soon. Jesse Prince is another person you can Google, and he is a kick-ass person. He used to work with Miscavige running the church and has done many, many videos talking about all. He wrote a book. I have his book. Wait, I think I have his book right here. I think, unless I have my brother's. No, I already finished it. Anyway, you can type in Jesse Prince. I think it's called Witness, but his book is there, and it's another good book to read. And Paulette Cooper, that's another really good book. There's a lot of good books about Scientology, but they're educational. They really are. Okay, so oh, good, yeah, he has videos on YouTube too. Jesse Prince, thank you. So anyway, I could go on forever, but that's it. I don't want to talk too long because it just gets to be too much. But do you think I did okay? Did I answer some of your questions? I mean, I feel like I'm totally learning this. I'm like in kindergarten, you know. So you love my hands? Did you mean my hands? Okay, thank you. So it was okay, looking great. Okay, thank you. My ears are always itchy. I don't know why. Anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you, because I really feel like kind of dorky because I don't have all those flashy things to put up and stuff like that. And those people do. So, you can definitely check out their YouTube sites and see all the cool stuff. And I'm just me, that's the way it is. And until somebody comes and teaches me how to put up the fancy stuff, it's just going to be me, whatever, wherever I am. But thank you for your kind comments and for supporting me and being here. And if anybody knows how to do that thing with the super chats, that would be really great. Oh, ABC News. My dad used to work for ABC News. All right. Anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, okay, so I don't need that. All right, good. So I just feel, it just feels kind of corny, but I'm gonna say Mr. Anonymous says goodbye. And my fans, don't forget them. You gotta have something to laugh about. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. This is the guy that I've had. He's my security guard too. Somebody gave him to me. He's my security guard. Mexican long hair. Wow, that's cool. All right. Well, anyway, you guys all have great nicks, and thank you for being here. I love you guys, and I'm glad that you appreciate it, and we'll do more. Um, and I'm gonna try to do the nighttime thing. I'm doing this nighttime thing where I decided where it's like Magoo's messages at night, whatever. It's just nighttime stuff. But thank you. It's not sweet dreams for me. It's only 7 o'clock here. And I don't go to bed till like 2 in the morning. So I was doing it at like 1, but everybody said, yeah, that's a little bit too late. So I'll probably do it at 10. I think mm, I think I don't know. I was going to, I'll have to figure it out. I'm working on it. Let's just say that. All right. Thank you. Thank you for each of you. I love you. Believe me, I love all of you. And there you go. And there's from my little fans and Mr. Anonymous. So, see, when you have little stuffed animals, you're never alone. It's kind of cool. Right? Right. All right. Well, good night from wherever you are. I love you guys.